It's time to get creative with Cassie. Welcome to my paper studio. Today we're going to be making baby snips. Baby snips are so much fun to make, and this is what they look like. So it's just little itty bitty pieces that you can use to decorate your journal pages with, or your tabs, or whatever. You can make them in any color you want. It doesn't matter. And they are so much fun to make, and they're so easy, and you can do it in under 15 minutes. So, with that being said, let's get into what all you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need some smaller buttons. So I went through some of my buttons and just picked out some smaller ones. I do have a little bit of a bigger button in there that's blue, but I thought it was a really cute button, so thought maybe I could use it. So you're going to need something for your base. You could use fabric pieces, or you could use some trim, some ribbon, anything like that. So then to layer on top, you're going to need more ribbons, maybe some eyelash trim, maybe some burlap. And then I've got this whole big bag of ribbons here that I'm going to dig through. And then I've also got my little basket here that has some different laces in it that we can play with. I really like, for the baby snips, taking this particular lace, and I like just cutting this edge off right here and using a couple of those on my baby snips. So I'll probably do quite a bit of that. So I'm just going to bring this in, set this off to the side. Oh, you're also going to need needle and thread. I already have a needle threaded, ready to go. So let's get in here and have some fun. And yes, I'm dumping all of these out because I don't know which ones I want to use. Again, this is something that you can do in under 15 minutes. You can set in front of the TV with the husband and watch TV and do this. I'm going to bring you down because these are kind of small and I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. I am so sorry about that shadow. Let's see if I can fix it a little bit there. Woo! Okay. So I don't have very many pink ones, so I think I'm going to start with some pink. So I really like this fabric, so I'm just going to come in here and cut this down. And remember, save your little offcut pieces, because who knows, we might come up with something for those. So I got a couple of those. Let's do a little piece of this pink on top, just like so. Throwing those back in. Okay, and then let's see if I've got some pink ribbon. And I do. I've got this little piece of, that's not pink, that's purple. Hold on. If you don't see my hands in frame, it's just because I'm over here digging through this bag of ribbons. And I did find a little pink one. Okay. So, just going to take a little pink and put it on my snip. Now, I want a little bit of lace on here. So, like I said, I really like cutting this part off of the lace here. I'm trying to stay in frame for you guys as best I can, but I'm not used to being zoomed in like this. So, okay. Now, if you're going to sit down and make a bunch of these, they can get time consuming. But if you just want to sit down and make like 4 or 5 for a project or something that you're working on, you can do it easily in just a few minutes. So, once you get your baby snip together, you want to kind of move your pieces so you can see A little bit of everything. No rhyme or reason. Put your button on the top. Take your needle and thread and just sew your button on, going through all those layers. Now, I know some people that make these and they just go through their button one time. I'm not a one-timer. I want to make sure my button's going to stay, and I want you to be able to see the thread when you look at my button. So I always go through it 3 times, which kind of slows me down a little bit, but that's okay. When you get to the back, you're just going to pick up a little bit of your fabric or go underneath your stitches, and then you're going to tie a knot. I always do a double knot, so I'm going to do it one more time. And then I'm just going to snip my thread loose. And there we have our first little baby snip. Isn't that adorable? So cute. Okay. The part that I hate about making these is tying the knot in the end of your thread after each snip. So, anyway, it's doable though. And I have found that these do go a little bit quicker if you do like 6 of them at a time. 6 snips, that is, which is what I'll do next. I'll just throw some out there, but I want to get this one put together. So again, just line your stuff up, bring your thread and needle in, go through all your layers, and stitch your button on. And I do apologize if my hands are all up in your way and you cannot see what I'm doing. And there's the 3rd time around. So now we're going to do our double knot. So there's 1. And then maybe there's 2. Snip that off, and there we have another little baby snip. So cute. Okay, I'm going to tie my knot in my thread. Another way you can do this without tying a knot in the thread, I'll show you that, but I've already started tying the knot. So this next one will do the knot, and then after that I'll show you how to do it without tying the knot in the thread. Okay, let me put that on my magnet so we don't lose it. Sorry about the jiggle jiggle. Okay, so I've got this piece of burlap in here that I really like, okay? So I'm just going to cut me 3 strips of it. Now this is how you can mass make a bunch of them in just a few minutes. Okay, I've got my 3 strips. Now I'm going to cut my strips in half. Okay. Now I really like this, so I'm going to cut 6 of these. Oh, I lucked out. I had just enough. Okay, so now I'm going to find something else to go on there. Maybe we'll do some of this on 3 of them, so I'll cut 3 pieces of this. Okay, and we'll just layer that underneath a couple. And then we'll find something else. I wonder if I have anything blue. We'll make a couple blue ones maybe. Sure, I've got this blue thing. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll just kind of layer these. And I think they need just a little something, something more. But I don't know what. Okay. Anyway. Maybe we want to add some eyelash trim. Let's try that. Gotta find the end of it. So I'm just going to snip a little piece of eyelash. It doesn't have to be very big. I do maybe about an inch worth. Okay. Alrighty. So, let me slide these out. Well, first, let's pick our buttons. That needs a blue button. That one needs a blue button. And this one needs a blue button. And on these over here, I think I'll do red. We'll do a red button there. We'll do this square red button on that one. And, oh, we'll just do that one there. Okay. Now, a piece of my eyelash trim ran away. To do the eyelash trim, I just layer my stuff up, and then I kind of fold the eyelash trim together and put my button on top of it. And then, that way when I stitch, it should hold it down. And when using the eyelash trim, if you want to stitch in all 4 of your holes versus 2 of your holes, you can do that as well, just to make sure you're getting it down. Your eyelash trim likes to get caught in your stitches, so be aware of that. But it is doable, guys. So I'm just going the opposite direction now. To ensure everything is smooshed together. Okay, now I'm just going to flip it over and do my knot. And there we have that one. Okay, so now I said I was going to show you how to do this without having to tie your thread in a knot every time. So I'll just slide those aside, get some of this out of the way. So we'll do a blue one. Now I have not tied the end of my string in a knot, so I'm just going to come up and I'm going to leave a tail. So when I come back down, I want to make sure I hold that tail and it doesn't go anywhere on me. So then once I come back up through here, that's kind of locked in place. It's not going to move anywhere now. I'll do my 3 little loops. And then what you're going to do is you're going to then tie these in a knot, which I always leave my needle on the thread. Do not take your needle off the thread. So there's one, and then I'll hold it together and I'll do it a second time. So there's 2. And then we'll just snip that off. And there we've got a little baby snip. Okay, so I'll sew up one more of these. And then we will call that our Create in 15 for today. Okay. So again, this one is one where I didn't tie my knot in the thread, so I want to make sure I hold that tail so it don't go anywhere. And from yesterday's video, we did the word labels. This is a great way to embellish those word labels if you want a little bit more to your word label. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Let's get this one tied. And 2 knots. Okay, there's that one. I'm going to put my needle up so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to pull in one of our word labels we made yesterday. Set that aside. So here's one of the word labels that we made yesterday, right? So what you could do is you could take one of the baby snips and just kind of put it on there like so. Decorate it up some. Maybe put one over here. You could even add like the pink to it. The pink and brown look really cute together. Or if you don't want the pink, you could do the red. I mean, it's totally up to you. But anyway, that is the baby snips. I hope you guys enjoyed this. They're really fun to make. They're very addicting. And like I said, they can be time consuming if you're going to sit down and make a bunch of them. I'm going to continue making a bunch of them and fill up this drawer. I want to get a bunch of different colors of them because I just love using them to embellish my journals and stuff. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. Remember to make today your own and be creative. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.